What's good, gang? You back with your boy Billionaire Charlie. I'm already rich. You dig, man? Hit that like, hit that subscribe button for me, man. Show the channel some love, man. I appreciate all of y'all coming out to support the channel, man. Remember, go to the description box, man. Go support the wifey. She got the new book out. And we also got our brand new clothing line, man. Y'all come to the store, shop with us, man. Just show some support, man. And we got the Black Lives Matter shirts and no negative energy. You know what I mean? We out here grinding, man. Black entrepreneurs, man. We trying to do things on our own and not be slaves to no companies. You dig what I'm saying? Remember, if you want to donate to the channel, it's #B near Charlie, man. That's the book right here that my wife put together. You know what I'm saying? Y'all come join us on our other YouTube channel on this journey called Life. You dig what I'm saying? Where we talk about real topics and stuff. But today, man, we got to break it down and just reveal the truth about this whole situation with the Nip. You know what I mean? And like I said before, man, I feel like it was a lot of things conspiring together to try to take down one of our kings. You did what I'm saying? And it's and like I keep telling people, man, all this stuff, all these statements and things of that nature, I feel like a lot of things been rehearsed and put together because it's so many lies mixed in with a little bit of truth. You did what I'm saying? We need all the truth. You did? But I'm out.
Me and other people in other statements was that when you first arrived at the store, you went inside the store to attempt to purchase a shirt, was told that they didn't have your size, and then you walked out and had a conversation with Nipsey. Is that correct? Yes. Was that part of the story true? Did you ever listen to the question, did you ever go into the store that day? No. Okay. Pardon me? This is being provided as potentially exculpatory evidence pursuant to People v. Johnson. Please consider this evidence as you would any other evidence that is presented to you during the course of this hearing and your deliberations. Okay, so I know you previously testified that when you went to the store, it was your intent to go in and buy a shirt, correct? Right. Is that a yes? That's correct. But the fact is you never went into the store to attempt to make a purchase, correct? No, they said he's outside. I said, okay. Okay, when you made those statements to me and to others in the past that you actually went into the store, did you make that statement because you were afraid that if you admitted that you just went and only spoke to Nipsey, that it would somehow affect your parole status? I did. All right, thank you. In addition to the conviction for murder that you previously testified about, you also prior to that had about 4 felony convictions for drug sales. Is that correct? I did. And that's just the way you were living your life at that time in your life. Is that correct? Yes, sir. All right, thank you. No further questions. Any questions for this witness from any grand jurors? Please raise your hand so the sergeant at arms can collect them. While we're waiting for that question, may I ask another question? Yes. Where's Shermy? Probably at work. Okay, you guys currently live together? Yes, sir. And do you know whether he's aware that we were trying to get him to come into court and give testimony? Well, he says, you don't have to tell me what he says, but have efforts been made at your residence? Yes. To try to, yes. Locate him? Yes. Okay, all right, thank you. This is a grand juror question, but you previously answered this question when you were asked by Mr. McKinney. You did not see the shooter's face, correct? No, I didn't. Okay, any additional questions? Okay, this is a grand juror question and it refers to your parole and maybe why your answer regarding what you did as soon as you arrived there was a little different. So you were in prison for a murder and you were released out on parole, correct? Yes, ma'am. And there are conditions of parole when you're released out on parole, correct? Yes, ma'am. And sometimes part of that condition of parole is that you do not congregate or associate with known gang members. Is that correct? Correct. Was that the condition that you were concerned about, or was there another condition? That was a condition because they said he's not like that at all over the community before this happened. I said, okay. But you were concerned that your parole officer, who is the person who supervises you, right, when you're released from prison and you're on parole, would violate your parole. And if you violate, your parole is violated, what happens? You go back to prison. Because parole is allowing you out with conditions, and if you violate them, then you go back to serve the full term. Is that correct? I served the full term. Well, but you served your full term and you were released, but there's still additional time if you violate your parole that you would have to serve in prison, correct? Yes. Okay, and you didn't want to go back, correct? No, ma'am. All right, any additional questions? Okay, Madam Foreperson, if you would please admonish the witness. Okay, it's the long version. Yes. Before you leave, please listen carefully to what I'm going to say to you now. You are admonished not to reveal to any person, except as directed by the court, what questions were asked or what responses were given, or any other matters concerning the nature or subject of the grand jury's investigation, which you learned during your appearance before the grand jury, unless and until such time as the transcript of this grand jury proceeding is made public. I wish to advise you that a violation of this order can be the basis of a contempt of court charge against you. Do you understand this admonition? Yes, ma'am. Now, Mr. Lathan, you have a lawyer. You may discuss with your lawyer any part of this testimony, the questions, the answers, and that's about it, but anything that you would like to. You are not restricted from any communications with your lawyer. Do you understand? Okay. If it's not your lawyer, you can't discuss anything. This is a secret proceeding, and you have been advised that if you violate that, then you could be held in contempt, okay? Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for coming. We're going to recess right after this, and you're excused. And I'm going to ask Mr. McKinney if he will wheel you out, and then he can come back and get all his things, all right? And if the sergeant at arms could open the door for you? Thank you, Mr. Lathan. Thank you. Now, when you were down, was your head facing eastbound, meaning you had a view over this direction where I'm holding the pointer? Yeah. East of where you fell, or did you have a view of your direction, or west of your direction toward the fish restaurant and the T-Mobile store? This way? Yeah. All right, so you fell down, head toward the back of the vehicle that you were leaning against? Yes. And you were looking toward the Shell gas station over here? Yeah. And after you fell, could you either hear the shooter? Did you hear the shooter say anything after those first words, "You're through"? No. Did you see what, if anything, happened to Nipsey after the shooting started? He came back and shot several more times, and I heard women screaming loudly. Let me stop you there. Did you see Nipsey go down to the ground? He went down after me. Did you see that? Yes. Okay, so after you went down, you saw him go down? Right behind me. Now, after you went down, did you have a view of him? A slight view. What does that mean? Like I could only see half of his body past the car tire. Okay, but your line of view was mainly facing away from him, correct? Right, and I turned like this. I'm still on the ground, and so my face just turned like that. Okay, so you're indicating that you turned your face back toward the direction where Nipsey was, which would have been to your left? It would be to my right, because if I laid down like right now on the ground with my face like this, I could only look that way, and that's where he was at, behind me. Okay, was he down on the ground closer to the car that he was up against, or closer to when the shooting started? I believe so, yeah. Okay, did you hear him say anything during the shooting, either when the shooting was happening or in those breaks in between shots? No, he called out a name. I don't know what it was. Why do you think it was a name as opposed to on something else? Because somebody was hollering, "Hey, who did this? Who did this to you?" I mean, while the shooting was still going on. No. Did you hear him say anything like, "Stop"? No. Or, "Why are you doing this to me"? No. Just let the record reflect when you said that the witness was facing the Shell gas station, that's in the direction of Crenshaw Boulevard, the alley, and then Crenshaw Boulevard. Right. Thank you. Okay, tell us what happened after the last shot you heard. What, if anything, did you see or hear next after the last shot? His brother came to his aid? Whose brother? Nipsey's brother. Okay, do you know his name? Sam. Had you met Sam before? I have. Were you still on the ground when that happened? I was. And were there a number of people gathered around Nipsey trying to help him? Yes, Sam was giving him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Were you conscious and aware of what was happening the whole time, or did you ever lose consciousness? I could say I blacked out for a moment, but I had to stay woke because I seen people black out and don't come back, and I was like, I can't let this happen to me, but this is still happening to me. Were you hospitalized immediately after your injury? Yes. Were you taken to the hospital by paramedics? Yes, excuse me. The lady said, well, don't tell us what the lady said. The hospital lady. I know you can't tell us what the hospital lady said. Okay. But you did go to a hospital, correct? Yes. You saw a doctor? Yes, I did. Okay, and I noticed that you're here today in a wheelchair. Have you been using a wheelchair? Yes, I have. Are you able to walk? About 5 or 6 feet. And then what happens after 5 or 6 feet? My left side goes almost completely numb, like your foot goes to sleep. It comes all the way up to my hand and I could feel it. And you're holding your left arm? Right. Wrist area? All the way down to my feet. I'm like, it's not right. So, but the bullet cut some nerves. Let me stop you there. So basically you're saying that the injury you suffered has affected your ability to walk more than 5 or 6 feet, at least for now, correct? Yeah. And it's been over a month since you've been shot? Yeah. Is that a yes? Yes, I have to learn how to walk all over again, they said. It's a process, but if you force yourself to walk a little places, then you'll be able to walk more and more. Okay. I guess it's therapy, they call it, so. Physical therapy? Right, I don't have it, but I'm using my walker because when I got out of prison, they gave me a walker because I had my stroke. My right side was messed up. So I used a walker for a while, and then when I was able to get off of it, then I started going on passes, you know? How many days were you in the hospital? About 4. Are you scheduled for any follow-up visits? Well, several people have made business arrangements, but this today took over. The lady was going to do the physical therapy for me, my ex-wife. So let me stop you there. Is the answer yes, you expect that you will still be going to get medical treatment for what happened? Oh, indeed. All right. Let me stop you there because I want to show you a video. A who? A video. A video. Okay. A video. I'm going to start the video at 14:01:45. And this is exhibit 11, cam 6. I'm going to turn down the lights so it's a bit easier and it's a bit dimmer. Okay, I'm going to start it at 14:01:27. Can you see the video, Mr. Lathan? Yeah. Is that a yes? Yes, ma'am. And I want you to focus on this area at the top right of the video. Do you see that black SUV coming into view? I do. Is that the vehicle you arrived in with your nephew Shermy? His vehicle is further back. This vehicle that I'm pointing to that's backing up? Yeah. Is that the vehicle you arrived in? I believe so. Okay, and over here to the left of the vehicle on the video, this person appears to have a white rag on his head. Is that Nipsey? I believe so. And the door of the vehicle is opening now, 14:02:13. And tell me if that's you getting out of the passenger side of the vehicle. Yep. That's you? Yes, sir. Okay, now you testified that essentially up until the time of the shooting, you were in this area, the area that you're standing in, now close to those 2 white cars around the front of the Marathon store, talking to Nipsey and some of the other guys who are around. Is that correct? Yes, sir. I just want to fast forward to 14:10:50, and I'll make it 14:10:15. And I want you to focus now on this area up here. Is that your back up against the white car as you described? Yeah, I can't really see it. Right here? Okay. Does that appear to be where you were leaning? Yeah. Yes? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And does this appear to be Nipsey over here taking a picture with someone? That little child. Okay, and this person here in the pink shirt, is that your nephew Shermy? I believe so. Standing toward the front of his vehicle? Yeah. So there's Nipsey, you, the young man who you didn't know to your right, and your nephew Shermy here, correct? Yes, sir. Okay, focus on this person walking toward the cars. Okay, did you have an opportunity to see that? Yes, sir. Okay, didn't that accurately show what happened when the shooting started and what happened to you? Yeah, I was the one that fell. All right, I want to show you first. I want to show you another version of that zoomed in a little bit, okay? Okay. This one is zoomed in so we can't see the counter that's embedded in the video. But on this clip, at 4 minutes and 12 seconds into this clip, and this is, for the record, Grand Jury Exhibit number 13. This video better shows you getting out of the black car, correct? Yes, sir. And you're shaking hands with Nipsey here and you're just talking, correct? Yes, sir. Now I want to go forward a little bit in this zoomed in view. Okay, I'm going to go to 10 minutes and 18 seconds into the view. This is you with your back leaning up against the white Audi, correct? Yes, sir. Nipsey is right in front of you, is that right? Yes, sir. This is your nephew Shermy almost directly between the two cars, maybe 5 or 6 feet away from you, is that correct? Yes, sir. And then this is the other gentleman that you described who you didn't know his name, is that right? That's right. Right, let's watch it from this point forward. Actually, I didn't go far enough, so in the interest of time, I'm going to go further a little bit. All right, I'm going to start at 12:15. Nipsey comes over to take a picture on the sidewalk in front of the tax business, correct? Yes. This is him here. All right, let's watch it from here. All right, 13:25 into this clip, Nipsey is here with the white rag. Your back is leaning up against the white car, the guy that you described next to you, and your nephew in the pink shirt about 5 or 6 feet away from you in between the two white cars, correct? Yes, sir. All right, now focus on this person here that's going to come and walk between the two cars coming from the left to right. Now, at 14, I'm going to stop it at 14:20. Did that video accurately show the shooting that happened that day? I had never seen it before, but yeah.
Wonder why they call me a loke and I'm always in the field. Cause I'm never gon' change. Even when I get my first meal, probably sell my first deal, nigga. Never gon' change. Wonder why they call me a loke and I'm always in the field. Cause I'm never gon' change. Even when I get my first meal, probably sell my first deal, nigga.
You were at the store that day, correct? Yes, sir. And one of the things that you had previously told me and other people in other statements was that when you first arrived at the store, you went inside the store to attempt to purchase a shirt, was told that they didn't have your size, and then you walked out and had a conversation with Nipsey. Is that correct? Yes. Was that part of the story true? Did you ever listen to the question, did you ever go into the store that day?
Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it real. What is my conclusion to all this BS paperwork and all these testimonies that's coming from people that everybody conspired together to take down Nipsey Hussle? Point blank, period. Everything was a bunch of BS lying and a bunch of people put in place to make a move. That's all it was, man. I don't want to hear all this baloney stuff because when we got these stories, let's be real. Let's keep it a buck and let's keep it funky. None of the stories actually matched up to the actual truth. You know what I mean? So this is a bunch of lies on top of lies. People sitting, going over the statements before they go to the courts. And this is foolishness, all the way foolishness. You would have to be the dumbest, stupidest, craziest motherfucker to believe the shit that these people are putting on these testimonies, man. I just don't believe it, man. I just don't believe nothing of what they saying. It's more to the story, and we seen it on the camera. We seen the statements change from one way to another way. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, man, it was all put together to tear down Nipsey Hussle. You know what I mean? Point blank, period, man. This wasn't no random motherfucking thing, man. If I believed that this shit was random, I must be the dumbest motherfucker on the planet, man. Let's be real. Let's keep it a buck, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real. It's a lot of money they have been lost in this situation. And who is gaining all this money and all this power and all this property once the fall of Nipsey Hussle happened? You know what I mean? When you conspired all these things and all of a sudden we see niggas with new whips, wiping their whips down and shit like that. And we supposed to be sitting around talking about, it was just something that happened that day. Now get the fuck out of here. Niggas conspired this shit. Niggas put this shit together. Niggas even put the spin and the lies together to give TMZ. This shit is bullshit, man. Now, I'll be a stupid motherfucker to believe the shit that they telling me is supposed to be real. It's fake as fuck. Like, who would believe the shit that these niggas putting together? And I hate to be raw and uncut like this, but I'm like, come on now. Now, after I listened to all these testimonies and niggas doing witness shit and niggas switching their stories and then niggas lying at TMZ getting them fake ass stories. And then we come out and then we find out all the investigation and looking over all this shit. It's all bullshit. It's a diversion to take you away from the actual truth. It's bullshit. You know what I mean? Period, dog. I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like confused by all this bullshit that they putting forward, man. You know what I mean? This whole shit was put together and planned, my nigga. And I don't give a fuck what nobody got to say. It was a backstabbing on top of a backstabbing, man. They seen that this man was coming into a powerful situation and they ain't want to see the shit. Point blank, period, man. And there was money and capital. Niggas is like, come on, man. Once you sit back and look at these deals and all this shit that's happening, you know what I mean? We see the people that's winning and getting the reward from the death of this man. And we would be stupid as fuck to be sitting back and saying, oh, they didn't want this person to go if they see receiving everything from this shit. Stop it, bro.